at least 1 to 2/3 of people on diets regain more weight than they lost within 4 to 5 years. So we know that the best medical and scientific evidence says that diets don't work. But why do they fail? Your diet is not going to work if you cannot separate science fact from marketing fiction. To do that, you'd have to spend weeks reading dozens of medical studies, which, believe it or not, is even less fun than it sounds. Lucky for you, I've already done all the research and compiled it into this short video. These 10 minutes will change your life if you let them. Welcome to another episode of Advice from a Jackass. My name is Romany Malco. I am the founder of the PEP, the People's Empowerment Platform. This is a place where growth-oriented people come together to discuss the possibilities of holistic success. We cover everything from psychological wellness to financial integrity and everything in between. Let's get it started. The American weight loss industry is a $79 billion giant. According to Business Wire, that number is going to hit around $350 billion on the global scale by 2025. Pills, plans, shakes, gyms, fads, coaches, and weird infomercials, all promising to give you results if you simply hand over your money. But how can you tell which ones work and which ones don't? Let's investigate, but first, who is spending all of this damn money? In terms of age, Americans between the ages of 18 and 34 are more likely to follow a diet. According to the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, between 2013 and 2016, almost 50% of American adults tried to lose weight. And that breaks down to 56.4% women and 41.6% of men. Digging deeper, according to a CDC breakdown, and I'm always a little skeptical of the Center for Disease Control, and I'm quoting them, a recent study had found that 21% of women and 10% of men had used weight loss supplements at some point in their lives, with women ages 18 to 34 having the highest rate of past year use at 17%. It's not just gender that predicts weight loss behavior. Income plays a big role too. Doctors found that people earning $30,000 or less per year spend 2 to 4 times as much on their income on weight loss supplements on people earning $100,000 and up. Most worryingly, the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey found that adults in low to middle income households were more likely to use weight loss strategies inconsistent with medical recommendations. Finally, race also plays a role in whether or not you chase diet trends. So, like I was saying, race also seems to play a role in who follows diet trends. Though white and Hispanic adults tend to diet at similar rates, African American adults were slightly less likely to diet, and Asian adults were a whopping 8% less likely to try dieting. Leading the world in both wealth and fast food restaurants, it's no surprise that North America also leads the world in weight loss spending. We led the pack in 2018 with a severe obesity rate of 6%, affecting 20 million people. Taking it just a notch down from severe obesity, we had an obesity rate of 36%, affecting over 118 million people. That's 138 million people, ranging somewhere between severe obesity and obesity. That's damn near half the country. It seems as though our idea of a balanced diet is a cheeseburger in each hand. The rest of the world is catching up though. Europe takes second place in weight loss spending, with Asia and Latin America coming in next, being the fastest growing markets. The Middle East and Africa round out the bottom of the list. So one thing is clear, a lot of people are trying to lose weight, but why? What compels so many people to want to change their diets? What compels so many people to want to change their bodies? Straight up, I want to know, what do you think compels the people in the country that you're from to want to change their bodies? According to the 13th Annual Health and Food Survey, the main reason people diet is to improve their health. Specifically, 20% of people who were dieting claimed that heart health was their top diet goal. Weight loss was number 2 at 18%, and increased energy came in at 13%. With all these people wanting to be healthier, spending $70 billion a year to lose weight, it's gotta be working, right? I think we both know this video wouldn't be necessary if that were true. 100% of people who go on a diet fail. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but not by much. The only people who succeed at keeping weight off are people who make permanent changes. Now, back to taking a closer look at why diets fail. UCLA psychology professor Tracy Mann explains, and I'm quoting her, "You can initially lose 5 to 10% of your body fat on any number of diets, but then the weight comes back." In a meta-analysis of 31 long-term studies, Dr. Mann found that people tend to rebound to a higher weight than they started with before they were dieting. She concluded that diets do not lead to sustained weight loss or health gains for the majority of people who do them. That sounds bad. But the reality is even worse. Dr. Mann and her team decided to analyze every study that followed people on diets for 2 to 5 years. They found that most people would have been better off not going on a diet at all. Their weight would have been pretty much the same, and their bodies wouldn't have had to suffer the wear and tear of losing all that weight and then having to gain it all back. She says diets are not effective in treating obesity. The benefits are too small and the potential harm is too large for dieting to be recommended as a safe, effective treatment for obesity. At least 1 to 2/3 of people on diets regain regain more weight than they lost within 4 to 5 years. So we know that the best medical and scientific evidence says that diets don't work. But why do they fail? According to doctor and dietitian Robin A. Osborne, diets fail because they are short-term efforts rather than permanent lifestyle changes. Once the diet stops, you stop thinking about a healthier life and your biology takes over again. Gaining a significant amount of weight changes your biology. Our bodies begin to act as if that higher weight is our normal weight, and it adjusts our metabolisms to maintain it. A study of contestants on that show, The Biggest Loser, found that before the competition, they had an average resting metabolism of about 2,600 calories per day. After the show, it was at 2,000 calories per day. 6 years later, even though most had returned to their pre-show weight, their resting metabolisms had plummeted to 1,900 calories per day. But wait, what is your average resting metabolism? That is basically the amount of calories that you burn if you were just laying still. So if you just laid still all day, not necessarily sleeping, just laying still all day, chilling, you would burn your average resting metabolism. But what this thing is saying is that your ability to burn those calories throughout the day is compromised after a diet and gaining back the weight. Unfortunately, biology isn't the only barrier to permanent weight loss. Science also shows that unless we address the underlying psychological issues of weight gain, losing the weight will only be a temporary fix. According to researchers at the University of Pennsylvania, psychological issues and behavioral issues also play significant roles in the development of obesity. Specifically, they found that substantial weight loss is related to a patient's ability to make permanent lifestyle changes. This requires not only better nutritional choices and exercise, but improved management of stress and emotional states. Failure to address these root causes doom most people's chances at long-term weight loss. The people selling you fad diets and 7-week weight loss programs know the science. They know that after they take your money, you will be back to your original weight or higher. They count on it because if you ever got permanently healthy, you wouldn't be back for their next pill, book, or program. And this is something that I really want to make clear. I want people to really get this. It's not just about changing the way you eat, changing your exercise habits. It is also about addressing the psychological issues that led you to eating in a certain way in the first place. Maybe you were using food to comfort your anxiety. Maybe you were using food to deal with a major void or severe hurt that you endured throughout your childhood. Maybe you are dealing with a problem right now in your relationship. Until those psychological issues are addressed, you are basically setting yourself up for failure with every single diet. Now, I understand some people only diet for short-term gratification. Some people are like, yo, I just want to look good for my wedding, or I just want to look good for my high school reunion, or I just want to look good while my ex is back in town. But if we are talking about long-term health benefits, if we are talking about long-term weight loss, an effective diet must also address the psychological issues. Those psychological issues are the reason you develop the eating habits that have gotten you to the point that you are now. That goes for every single one of us. And marketers keep you in this cycle of regaining weight and buying their temporary fixes, preying on your fear of the unknown. Dr. Nicholas Carlton's research in the Journal of Anxiety Disorders determines this perfectly. He looked at dozens of studies across the fields of psychology, biology, and neurobiology, then concluded that the fear of the unknown is a deeper, more primal fear to humans than the fear of death itself. Dr. Carlton's findings about fear of the unknown being perhaps the most primal fear amongst humans is backed up by so many studies. But the most interesting one is specifically about weight loss. In this study, 75% of people said that they would take a pill if it guaranteed that it would reduce their weight loss, even if it meant that it would shorten their life expectancy. On average, they were willing to give up 5.7 years of their life if it meant that they could live with a lower body fat percentage. Crazier than that, 91% of them said that they would not take the pill if it guaranteed to lengthen their life by 5 years, but they would have to remain overweight. That's weird because in the surveys, people were like, heart health is my number one goal. Well, what's the point of worrying about your heart health if you don't want to live longer? Yup, though people say they want to be healthy and live longer, the data proves that they just want to look good and be certain. Marketers know this and they will sell you the illusion of certainty. They'll promise you a certain cure knowing that it's not going to work long term. They will keep you in a vicious and unhealthy cycle that you won't be able to escape until you know it's there. So what did we learn today that we can use to improve ourselves and improve the way we go about dieting? Well, diets don't work unless you address the psychological issues that got you to the point of needing to lose weight to begin with. If you want to lose weight and keep weight off, there are two very important keys. One, yes, permanent lifestyle choices, exercise, healthier food, maybe even meditation. And two, addressing the psychological issues that got you there to begin with. Everyone is different. Some people use food to address stress, anxiety, depression. Some people have desk jobs and don't get enough exercise. Some of us have hectic jobs and don't make time for healthy choices. Whatever caused you to gain weight, there is no silver bullet to weight loss. Anyone promising you a fast and easy solution is taking advantage of your naivete. They're taking advantage of your desperation, and in the end will steal your money. Do not fall for it. The real solution is free. It just actually takes time and sacrifice. Try to make healthy living a habit, not just a choice. In fact, here's a video right here about how to establish healthy habits effectively. But the real point that I'm trying to make is that healthy living is not just about the food that you put into your body. It's about the thoughts that you put into your body. It's about the way in which you process stress. It's about your emotional state, your psychological disposition. It is about dealing with your trauma. But seriously, check out my video on the science of habit formation so that you can stop cutting your hair before you go to the doctor because you're afraid of what the scale's gonna say. Quick question: what healthy psychological changes are you going to begin to make today to start your journey towards a healthier lifestyle? Please put it in the comments because it might help inspire someone else to begin their journey towards a healthier life. And as promised, the free giveaway that I have for entrepreneurs is this simple. If you feel as though your posts are not getting the organic outreach that they maybe got 1, 2, 3 years ago because of changes in algorithms or changes in policy, by having your followers follow you on the PEP, you are able to notify them directly of posts that go up on the platforms that they follow you on. I will give you this service for 3 months free, and in exchange, all I want is your feedback. I want you to tell me what works, what doesn't work, what you like, what you don't like, what could be improved, and so on. If this interests you at all, please go to peprequest.com and request an invite. My name is Romany Malco, the founder of the PEP, the People's Empowerment Platform, and this concludes another episode of Advice from a Jackass.